The major events during the first deployments was in April of 1983. That was the day that the U.S. Embassy was bombed, took a terrorist bombing. So when the embassy blew, I was dispatched from the battalion landing team to be the initial response force up to the embassy. And when we arrived, of course, there was quite a bit of chaos. And the initial emergency responders had responded. The building, the bomber had come to the front of the building, and levels had collapsed of that building. So it was a huge impact. 50-something people ended up being killed. But of course, there was no organization, if you will, around the airfield. Around the embassy. And my platoon sergeant at the time was a Staff Sergeant Manigaw. Big, very, very intense, dark-skinned Black Marine who led through his force of personality, and a big head, completely shaved, and just the picture Marine, you might expect as a Marine NCO. And so we formed the Marines and brought them to port arms and double timed them right into that crowd, and we assumed a perimeter around the U.S. Embassy and began to, take control of the situation. And I was there for that whole week of response and then recovery. We camped out right there at the embassy. So that was a huge event, a significant event. We lost the Marine who was on guard, Marine security guard, who was at post 1, of course, and obviously another 50 or so others that were in the embassy building itself. So it was a major event, and the first of, if you will, the terrorist bombings that we've had since then. We conducted another relief in place with another sister battalion that came in behind us, and we floated back to Camp Lejeune. It was post-deployment for us, and then we were put onto what was called air alert status. So we had formations 7 days a week, 3 times a day, to be able to meet any flyaway need for the country. So we were in that status in October of 1983, and it was morning. It was a Sunday morning on the 23rd of October, and I was getting up to go into the battalion, for formation. And my dad called me and said, "Have you seen the news?" And I said, "No." So I flipped on the news, and there it was. The bombing had taken place in Beirut of the Marine headquarters building that was there close to the airport.